So I bought some dates. So I impulse bought this fairly large box of dates at Costco a couple weeks ago. It's 3 kgs, it's almost 5 pounds, it's heavy, she big. And I need to figure out what in the heck to make with it. So today I'm just making recipes with dates. I'm gonna do 4 different ways and crack into this thing. I probably won't even use them all, but I'll use as many as I can. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, then keep watching. So first things first, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of Bliss balls from this book. Now it's a Weight Watchers book. I'm not currently on Weight Watchers, but I have been in the past, and some of the recipes are amazing, and especially everything in this book. I just love her stuff. So we're making 2 different kinds today, a chocolate brownie one and a chocolate wheat Bix one, which I figured the kids would like, and we have wheat Bix in the house, so let's go. I'm gonna soften these dates up because they're not fresh medjool ones, they're just normal dates, I guess. I don't know, the kind you buy in a big box at Costco. That's what I have, and they weren't as squishy as I like, so I softened them up, no problems. We're just chucking everything in my blender. I'll put all the recipes below, but it's oats, dates, of course, some walnuts, some sugar-free drinking chocolate, a bit of maple syrup, and some vanilla essence. So easy. Now my Ninja was kind of struggling, so I ended up shifting everything over to this mini food processor by Revel. It just chopped it a little bit smaller, which I wanted for the consistency. Putting everything in a bowl just to make it a little bit easier on me, and starting the scooping process. Now, if there ever was a time for fast forward, it's now. So I'm just doing exactly the same process with the second batch now. We're gonna drain the softened dates and then assemble everything into the food processor. This one is using wheat Bix, which is interesting. I feel like they're heartier, so you could even grab some of these Bliss balls as a really quick breakfast if you were running out the door and had no time. This one uses golden syrup, which made a hell of a mess, but that's all right. Choppy, choppy, chop, and then we roll these ones. They also had cocoa powder in it, by the way. And we rolled these ones in coconut flakes, and they were super yummy and maybe a little bit harder to work with, so you definitely want to use damp hands, but they turned out great. I also put both of these batches in the fridge for about 30 minutes to harden up. And in terms of storage, I just keep them on that same baking sheet and put them in Tupperwares. You can either keep them in the fridge or at room temp. They should be hard enough now that they keep their shape. We're good to go. Next up, I'm making a big batch of this stuff, which is so good. It's another Anna Van Dyken recipe. You can use it for overnight oats or on yogurt. It's just delicious. So for these, you're just adding this Maldon. If you haven't tried Maldon, the sea flakes, man, they are so good. Salty sweet. You're just adding the salt to the dates and then softening them up. The whole thing goes into the food processor. It's so easy. This takes honestly 4 minutes, but process it until it's smooth and it comes to this amazing consistency that's sort of like a caramel. Trust me, you want to try this stuff. I just put it in a glass jar and then it keeps in my fridge for a couple of weeks, but honestly, it's not going to last that long. So good. Next up, I'm making these date bars, which I got off Pinterest. They look amazing. I'm getting a little sick of chopping dates, I'm not gonna lie, but it requires about 2.5 cups, so I figured that was a good amount of dates, but yet still so many dates left. Oh my God. Anyways, chop, chop, chop. We're gonna put this into a saucepan and it's gonna boil down sort of almost like you're making a relish or a jam. So to that, we add a little bit of sugar and also some water. Bring everything to a boil and then let it simmer for about 15 minutes while it gets nice and syrupy and thick. So while that date mixture is simmering, we are going to make the base of these date bars. And that requires a little bit of flour. I think it's about 1.5 cups, a cup of brown sugar, some baking soda, some salt, and then heaps of cinnamon. I just love cinnamon. We also need 8 tablespoons of butter, and then you process that. Man, this thing is getting a workout today. Love this little guy. It's supposed to be the consistency of sand, and I thought that was well achieved. So add some oats to everything and a little bit of water, mix it around, and then we just put half of the mixture on the bottom of this well-greased baking pan. You want to kind of pat it down so it's all stuck together, and then you pop it in the oven for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, this mixture has really boiled down, it's super soft. I'm gonna leave it chunky. I like it chunky. After 10 minutes, we take this out and it's really started to come together, slightly brown, and we spread that mixture all over it. Now for the final step, you just take the rest of the dry ingredients, should be about half, and you plop it on top. Gently pat it down. Be careful not to touch the sides of the pan because yes, it's just come out of a very hot oven. Once you've done that, you're just gonna pop it back in for about 35 minutes. This is what they look like when they come out, when it comes out, and then you have to cut it into squares. I love these, they're so tasty. My one complaint is they're a bit crumbly, so I might use more butter if I was gonna make these again, which, let's be honest, I have the dates for, but anyways, they were good. My last recipe for today, and wow, I'm sick of cooking, is gonna be a very simple savory dish using pumpkin. You can also use any kind of squash, I think would work really well with the dates. And I mean, wouldn't it be nice if you could actually fast forward through all the chopping? I'm not a good chopper, so this took me longer than I'd like to admit, but I chopped up a half of a pumpkin, and we're gonna be adding some smashed garlic. Just smash it with your hand, peel it, and chuck it in. I think I used about 5 cloves, and then grab any kind of herb you have in your garden. I've got some rosemary. Thyme would have been really nice too. Chucked it in there, and then go hog wild with that olive oil, some salt, pepper. We're going to bake this for about 30 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes, we add in, what do you know, more chopped dates. So back in the oven for about 15 minutes, I did add some more olive oil and salt and pepper just to make everything not stick, and that's how it turned out. It was a really good side dish. I served it with our dinner, which was grilled pork, some salad, and it was just so good. So I'm totally wrecked. I'm so exhausted from making all these recipes, and guess what? I still have probably 2 kgs left. I mean, I made a dent, but wow, I still have so many dates, way too many. So if anyone has the recipes for dates, let me know, put them in the comments below. I'll slowly make my way through this bag, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.